I think it's important to consider first principles. And on this Sunday, looks like 19th of February, I heard that MSNBC had removed Pat Buchanan as a commentator because of a book he had written in which he used the expressions "the death of white America" or the end of Christian America. It's become more and more obvious with the Vikileaks story and the government's intention of moving into the realm of regulating or spying on emails that the real war that's going on in our society is between those who believe in true freedom of speech and those who believe in government regulation and promotion of a particular ideology or doctrine by control of the media and control of free speech. I was particularly troubled to see that the real purpose of the media investigation of the Vikileaks process was to find out who was behind it, not look at the substance of it, and whether or not it was right or just to reveal Vic Tave's private marital dispute is really irrelevant to the question of why was it that the media's first objective was to silence the critic. Well, I think the answer lies in the fact it was power. It's all about power. The mainstream media have the power to silence legitimate and serious dissent. And the mainstream media have made sort of a deal with the devil in terms of relationship with government. The mainstream media, in effect, have become an arm of government, particularly in Canada. The CBC is really a direct arm of government. It indoctrinates in the multicultural dogma of our time and allows no criticism. It basically maintains that anyone who opposes multiculturalism, for instance, a heretic to the New World Order religion, is to be ridiculed and silenced and ignored, or categorized in some way that makes them totally unacceptable for reasonable people to listen to. They never really allow consideration of the actual situation. The facts don't matter to them. In effect, therefore, we have become a very narrow-minded group of what we think are liberal thinkers, but we don't tolerate any dissent that fits outside the mold. And therefore liberals have become very illiberal. Therefore so-called Democrats have become very authoritarian and autocratic. I believe, therefore, we have a really serious culture war in effect and in progress today. It is a war between those who want to tell us what's really going on, like Pat Buchanan and his book, The Suicide of America, or whatever the title is. And it doesn't really matter what the title is. What really matters is what does it say. And rather than attack and silence people like Pat Buchanan or find out who's giving us the Vikileaks, we should be looking at the principle that's in play. And the principle that's in play is examination of something called truth. Now, truth is not the monopoly of any one person, but it is the primary function and purpose of every person to find the truth, to know the truth, and eventually, hopefully, to love the truth, and learn by the truth, and build something with the truth that is better than what we had. And if governments and the media conspire to regulate communication and prevent dissent, and outlaw dissent, and as I say, that's what's going on all around me here in Canada with the human rights tribunals and with the criminal code provisions against, quote, hate, close quote, which is often truth that someone doesn't like. All of this convinces me that we have a real important battle to fight for real and genuine freedom of speech. Freedom of speech for people like Pat Buchanan to tell us things that might be the truth. And you know, the reason I got involved in the whole free speech controversy is very simply this. I wanted to find out for myself what these people had to say. I did not want the media to tell me how bad James Keekstra was, or how bad Ernst Zundel was, or how terrible these people were. I wanted to find out for myself, because I think I can make up my own mind, and I need to know the facts in order to do it. And when I got closer to these people and began to see what they had to say, I realized they had some valuable insights to share, some contributions to the debate that were essential, and they were being marginalized, in those cases criminalized. And if we really believe in freedom, we don't need to silence people with criminal law or human rights legislation. And I guess we should be glad that the House of Commons is now in the process of abolishing Section 13(1) of the Canadian Human Rights Act. Not by a vast majority, but by a majority. And maybe, just maybe, one of the instruments of government terror and censorship will be eliminated. But the war is by no means over. This culture war is just beginning, and I know which side I'm on. Free the West, free people, and free minds, so we can decide for ourselves and keep the government's hands off the internet. We don't need their help in deciding how we should think.